And welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Steve Swat. We are coming to you from Sacramento State University at the Asian Pacific Islander American Public Affairs Association Candidate Forum. And one of those candidates is Jim Cooper, who currently is a member of the City Council in Elk Grove. You're a captain with the Sheriff's Department in Sacramento and a candidate for Sacramento Sheriff. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
I guess my first question I've got to ask you is, why in the world would you want to be Sacramento Sheriff? The current Sheriff, John McGinnis, has gone through an excruciating year that culminated in really devastating budget cuts to the Sheriff's Department. He made up some of those cuts at the end with, I guess, because of public pressure, but I mean, that's got to be really difficult now with the budget situation in Sacramento.
It is. It's tough. It's time for a change. I've been with the department for 25 years now, and this is the worst I've ever seen it. We laid off 120 deputies. Folks have lost their houses, their jobs, everything, their lives. And I want to make a difference. I want to change things and get it back to where it was.
Do you think those cuts could have been avoided?
Some of them could have. Part of them is the economy. You can't change that.
Right.
No sheriff can change that. But you have 58 counties in California, and we laid off more deputies than anybody else. Stimulus money. Sac PD got $12 million. West Sac got $1 million. We did the application, filled it out wrong, and got no money. So there's some responsibility on the part of the sheriff's management.
There was also a feeling, talking about the stimulus money, that perhaps Mayor Kevin Johnson of the city, really worked it and went back to Washington, met with a lot of people, and then brought home some of that money. Do you think perhaps that was lacking on the county level?
Absolutely. Since the city of Elk Grove, I'm a councilman. I've been back to Washington, D.C. numerous times. I met with our congressional delegation and actually bought money back to Elk Grove for roadway projects and a number of other projects. Good examples are the Sheldon Road interchange and the Grant Line Road interchange.
You've got 25 years with the Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
And you and your opponent you both have a lot of years
Yes.
in. And let me ask you the same question I asked him, and that's dealing with the jail. At one point, you were the jail commander.
Yes.
And the jail has come under, scrutiny and criticism over the years for its treatment of inmates, and there have been suicides over the years.
Sure.
What is your response to that?
The jail is tough. There are 2,400 inmates in custody there. They serve 9,000 meals a day. The budget's $46 million. It really is a little city. And most of those folks that are in there average 3 felony convictions. And the big thing you want to do is get folks out of there and have alternatives. So there are a lot of programs we have right now we've instituted to make it somewhat more reasonable. But it's really tough being in jail. And the big thing is to program things for them. Have them do things to keep their minds off their cases. That's a big thing. And when you can, let those pretrial inmates out, put them in home detention, and have them on ankle bracelet monitoring. Those are options we need to use more.
And do you think if you used those options more previously, you would have had fewer problems in the jail?
I think so. For some of them, yeah. Some of them, it was inevitable. A lot of these folks had psychiatric problems, and the configuration of the jail made it easy for those suicides. When I was there, we made a suicide prevention task force and corrected a lot of those problems and issues.
Are most of the inmates there really for drug offenses, do you think?
It runs the gamut on everything. Yeah. If we can get them out early, we'll get them out through bail or through the courts and get them OR'd.
If you were elected sheriff, I mean, from day one, how will you work to sort of reestablish your sheriff's budget?
The big thing is go back to Washington and work with our congressional delegates to help get those monies. And number two, improve morale. We've got a lot of good men and women there, and right now they feel disappointed. The management doesn't talk to them. The sheriff has not gone around to briefing. Some folks have not seen him in 3 years. So get out there, reconnect with the troops, and find out what their issues are. And the public, they want to make sure if they call 911, somebody's going to show up. That's a big concern right now.
All right. Well, Jim Cooper, thanks for being with us. Sheriff's Captain, candidate for sheriff in Sacramento. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you very much, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers.